Waylon with Power Control Services here. I wanted to discuss a few key things, and especially for if you're a new salesman wanting to get into sell industrial rebuild services for the company you're working with. So if you're an industrial distributor and this is something you've never done in the past, or maybe you've done it but you don't have a whole lot of experience with it or how to get started, I want to assist you on how to do that. So the first step is really understanding what's involved with industrial rebuild and what do we mean by it, and also what types of equipment to go after. So the first thing is PCS does an industrial rebuild. And so what this is a little bit more than just a standard electronic repair where we're just repairing whatever part that's found bad. We go in and we also replace high failure rate components, whether it be capacitors, switches, relays, things that are very common to fail. We replace those particular items, and then you will also repair the issue that was found at hand with the particular item. And the whole point of this is to make sure the item lasts as long as possible for the customer. So the last thing we want is a customer getting an item back, say it was, one specific resistor that was bad on it, and we replaced that one resistor, we tested, everything seems okay, but the unit also had some capacitors that were going out. So they reinstall it, it's working, and say, well, 6 months later, those capacitors go out, and then you have to get it repaired again. And so there's this repetitive repair charges. So the point is that we go in and we do these things that replace the parts that we know that are going to fail, we know that are common to fail, and get those out the way the first time that we see it. That way, that's no longer an issue for it. And when they do put it back into service, it's working, everything is working, lasts as long as possible. Okay, so that's the whole point or difference between a rebuild. Secondly, what types of equipment should you be going after? So as an industrial salesman, industrial automation salesman, you really need to be focusing on AC and DC motor controls. This would be maybe VFDs, variable frequency drives, AC inverters, servo drives, amplifiers. Those are the first things to focus on. Other things is industrial displays, industrial computers, industrial CPUs, touch screens. The next would be servo motors. That's something we just started with in the past year and a half, was rebuilding servo motors. And then finally would be programmable logic controllers and power supplies. So these are the most, this pretty much makes up all of industrial automation equipment, but those are the biggest things to focus on. That's where the most profit is going to be for you. And it's actually going to be the most cost savings for your clients. So these aren't going to be the $200 and $300 items. This is the items that cost several $1,000s. So it's absolutely beneficial for them to get them, the client to get them rebuilt versus buying new in a lot of cases, especially if the particular item that they're needing repaired or rebuilt is no longer made by the manufacturer. It's no longer serviced by the manufacturer. That's really where we come in, and we can help somebody keep, maybe it's $1 million production line they need to keep going, and they don't want to spend the $200,000 and $300,000 to upgrade the whole line. Well, spending $1,000 or $1,500 to have this particular, industrial CPU reconditioned to where it lasts another 5 or 6 years or maybe 10 years, that's going to be the ideal situation for it. So that's really where our service comes in. It also gives us an opportunity to get your foot in the door if you need a way to figure out how to market to this client. The other thing too is that your clients most likely are going to use a repair or rebuild service of electronics at some point, or automation equipment. So why not have them go through you? It's really key that you understand that. So there's some salesmen out there saying, I really just don't go after repairs, or, I just don't do that stuff. I got burned in the past, or whatever it may be. And a lot of times when you get down to the details, one, it's how you sell that service. And then second, it's going after the right equipment. And also knowing that, that customer is going to send it off somewhere else. Why not do it through you? Why can't you be that one-stop shop for them to be able to do those things? Now, there are a few things to make sure that you understand to be successful with industrial automation rebuild program. And one is that it has to be a program. You can't just go in there and say you repair everything. While we focus on specific repair item types, true success comes from focusing on one particular item. So say maybe that client has a Allen Bradley Panel View 700 that is constantly failing them. They're constantly having to get them repaired, or maybe they're constantly replacing them, and maybe they know why, maybe they don't know why. That's where we come in. We want to help that client understand why it's failing and come up with a long-term solution and an economical solution for them to where, they're not wasting all this money and replacing new and new and new and new. So that's really where we come in, and we really want to help. And so we have, and what I like to do with any salesman that's getting on board is have a conversation, just a frank conversation. I want to get your experience, see where your goals are, who your clients are, and then understand the types of questions you need to be asking them when you go in there. I mean, you're a salesman. I don't need to hold your hand on how to do this, but there is a little bit of expertise with it. There is a little bit of things that need to be understood going in there, just to make sure that we're asking the right questions and we're giving the right answers. And frankly, if you don't know the answer, don't give the answer. Call me. Let me get that answer for you. So you can reach me 800-962-6355. I can call our direct line. One of our customer service reps will be happy to help you. I'll help you out. We'll definitely get somebody to help you out. Any questions that you have. You can also email us at sales, SALES, at powercontrolservices.com for any questions that you have as well. So thank you for allowing us to be of service to you and to give us the opportunity to assist you. And I want the opportunity to wow you with our service.